Oh. 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 गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We are in Jnaneshwari Bhavartha Deepika, chapter 18, verse number 38. And last week we saw the Sattvic, what was it? Sattvic Sukha. That's what we saw. And the verse said, Yattadagre Vishamiva Pariname Mrutopamam Tat Sukham Satvikam Proktam Atma Buddhi Prasadajam. What is Satvika Sukham? It is that which by which you get Atma Buddhi Prasad, Atma Buddhi Prasad, Atma Sakshatkar, in other one step below Atma Sakshatkar. What is that Atma Buddhi? That Buddhi which is fixated, which is single-pointedly thinking, contemplating, reflecting about the Atma Tattva. That is Buddhi. When this happens, this is the Atma Buddhi Prasad. This is the Prasad, by the grace it comes about. This is the Sattvika Sukh, where the Buddhi is not does not have the visha of the poison of rajas and tamas, the poison of inertia and distraction and or desires. That Buddhi alone, that Buddhi which is free of tamas and rajas alone, will be able to think about the Atma Tattva. Who am I? Atma Tattva continuously. And the joy that it gets out of that is the Sattvic Sukh. Now we come to the Rajasic Sukh in the verse 38. Vishayendriya Sanyogad Vishayendriya Sanyogad Yattadagre Mrutopamam Yattadagre Mrutopamam Pariname Vishamiva Tatsukham Rajasam Smrutam Tatsukham Rajasam Smrutam. Together, Vishayendriya Sanyogad Yattadagre Mrutopamam Pariname Vishamiva Tatsukham Rajasam Smrutam. He says, that which arises from the contact of the senses, Vishaya Indriya Sanyogat. Sanyogat is coming together, union of Vishaya, the objects, Indriya, the senses. That which arises from the contact of the senses with their objects, which is like nectar at first, but like poison in the end. Pariname Vishamiva. Yattadagre. Agre, before, earlier, it seems as if Amritopamam. It's like nectarine, joyful, blissful, but Pariname. But it always, that which is blissful in the beginning, that is what people are after today, instant gratification. But what is the Pariname? What is the end result? End result is it becomes a poison. It is the poison. That which is nectarine in the beginning and poison and ends up being a poison is a rajasic sukh. Tat sukham rajasam smritam. Remember that to be rajasic. The laddu, now Diwali is there, laddu, chakli, chivda, everything is very nice. But later on, heartburn. So be careful. Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, Ani Vishayendriyam Melu Hota Dhananjaya Ze Sukhajaya Thadiya Sandu Nidonhi Adhikariya Rigata Gavo Hoya Jaisa Utsaho Karinavari Vivaho Vistarila. He says, when the senses come into contact with the sense objects, the rajasic happiness overflows on both banks, just as people celebrate the visit to a high officer to their village, or a wedding is celebrated by incurring a heavy debt. Huh? Initially, joyful, so much money is spent, but later on, you have to pay the debt. We eat sweets, then later on, we get diabetes. We eat too much salty things and spicy things, later on hypertension. Eat too many sweets, very tasty, tongue enjoys it. Within 10-15 years, the teeth start getting decayed. So they celebrate. Or continuing, these are just examples that he's taking. Nana rogiya jibhe pasi केळे गोड साखरेसी का बचना गाची जैसी मधुरता पहिली पहिले संवचोराचे मैत्र हाट भेटीचे कलत्र का लाघवियाचे विचित्र विनोदते कैसे विषयेंद्रिय दोखी जे सुख जीवाते पोखी मग उपडिला खडकी हंसू जैसा तैसी जोडी आघवी आटे जीविताचा ठाय फिटे सुकृताची आही सुटे धनाची गाठी आणिक भोगिले जे काही ते स्वप्न तैसे होय नाही मग हानीच्याही घाई लोळावे उरे. He says, and or bananas and sugar taste sweet to a patient, though he is prohibited from eating them, or the poisonous root, when in the mouth, tastes sweet. So the contact of senses with their sense objects gives pleasure at first, like the friendship of a polished thief, or the behavior of a harlot, or a mummer's performance. But that pleasure comes to an end, and the wealth of merit which he had earned dries up, ending with the loss of life, much in the same way as the swan, mistaking the reflection of the stars in water as gems, makes a sweep to seize them, and dashing against a rock loses its life. So, in Kali Yuga, in today's times, we are experts. Whatever we see, hear, touch, feel, taste, we are attracted by it, attracted by beautiful music, attracted by, like the deer. That's how he gets trapped. The fish, because of taste, it gets trapped. The elephant, when he is in rut, he gets trapped. We are all, they are each animal. We are all the animals together, all the five senses together. So here Jnaneshwar Maharaj says that so the contact of senses with their sense objects gives pleasure at first, like the friendship of a polished thief. So a con man comes into your life, You don't know. He's con man. He will show that he is the best person. But after clearing you out, his friendship becomes a Vishap for us. Same way, a Vaishya, she becomes very friendly. And when she has sucked you dry, then she leaves you on the wayside. Similarly, or a mummer's performance. But that pleasure comes to an end, and the wealth of merit which he had earned dries up when when we we become attracted to what we see, hear, touch, feel, taste without discrimination, because it is giving immediate sukha, immediate joy. See, this is what gambling is. This is what gambling is. This is what drug is. This is what smoking is. This is what alcoholism is. This is what drugs are. Immediate joy, immediate high, immediate high. But afterwards what? You become addicted. You want to remain indulged in these pursuits till that object, drug, alcohol, cigarette, grass, whatever, till it does not make you totally dependent on itself, and in that you lose all the merit, meaning your peace of mind is lost in that. Merit is sukha. Dukkha is demerit. But when we are not our own friend, because we are wanting instant joy, you want to invest now and you want to see the results straight away. You want to touch the thing, you don't have time. Today's people don't have time to fry the suji, then make the sugar syrup, then mix the two things, then it has to cool down overnight, and then next day you make the laddus, then you wait for Diwali. They were made 3-4 days ago. Then you have to wait for Diwali unless the Lakshmi Puja is not done. Till then you cannot touch the laddu. But today's generation, today's people, even grown-ups also, what they want? Phone call. Can you make this much for me? 1 kilo, 1 kilo, 1 kilo, 1 kilo. Free mein aa gaya. Chalo. No efforts, no hard work. No hard work. And what is there? Puja ke baad kya khana hai? Hey, Bhagwan is everywhere. Eat it now. That's not the right attitude. Ending up with the loss of life, much in the same way as the swan, mistaking the reflections of the stars in water as gems, makes a swoop to seize them and dashes against a rock, loses its life. So it's looking at the stars reflecting in the waters, which are shallow. There are rocks underneath, but the swan goes after the reflection of the stars, and the beak hits the rock and it dies. The alcohol kills us, the drug kills us, overindulgence kills us. It saps away all our energy. It takes away our strength, bala, the strength of our senses due to indulgence. It takes away our virya. It takes away our vitality. Vitality expresses as intuitive knowledge. That intuitive knowledge keeps becoming less and less and less as time goes by, as we keep living a life of instant gratification. Because of continuous indulgence, the form that gets corrupted. Understanding, prajna, that prajna also becomes less and less. Simple things are not able to be understood because mind is not available. Mind is full of desire of that particular whatever. See? And in this manner, Bala, Virya, what did I say? Bala, Virya,
Prajna, Swamiji.
Prajna. Bala, Virya, Prajna, understanding. Then Dhana. The wealth also gets lost due to indulgence. You have to buy the drugs, you have to buy the alcohol, you have to buy the whatever you are indulging in. Some people indulge in traveling and they want to keep traveling. All money finished. And last, Utsaha. Utsaha is the inspiration to live joyfully every moment. That is Utsaha. That also, as if someone has sucked all your energy away, all your inspiration away. This is the result of pursuing Rajasic Sukh. All these six you lose. Bala, Virya, Prajna, Dhana, Utsaha. See? Then all his sensual enjoyments vanish as if it was all a dream, and all that remains for him to do is to rot in the ditch of pain. Why to talk about today's generation? Look at us also. Aren't we in pain? Someone is having migraine, someone is having arthritis, someone is having diabetes, someone is having hypertension, someone is having backache, someone is having something or the other is breaking down. Why did not our body, as it was getting old, why can't it remain healthy? Only one reason. Because we indulged in life. Just because we had the money, we had the ability, we had the capacity, we never lived a life of balance. Those who live a life of balance, they grow and mature very, even at the physical level. Pain is both physical as well as mental, no? Memories pain you, physical body pains you. But all this is due to our improper interaction of our senses with the objects, which lead to desire. That desire is the sapper of energy. Remember Utsaha? Remember Virya? Remember Bala? All these keep becoming less and less and less and less as we keep living a life of temporary joys. But what is the result? Long-term misery. Temporary joys, but long-term misery. What should be our game? Our game should be short-term misery, long-term joy. That is tapasya. That is dispassion. That is discrimination. But we are living our life exactly the opposite. Continuing, I say आपत्ति से सुख ऐहि की परिणमे देख परत्री की रचविख होनी परते जे इंद्रिय जाता लळा, दिधलिया धर्माचा मळा, जाळूनी भोगी जे सोहळा, विषयांचा जेथ, तेथ पातके बांधिती थावो, तिये नरकी देती ठावो, जेणे सुखे हा अपावो, परत्री ऐसे ऐसा, पैनामे विषमहुरे, परी मारुनी अंती खरे, तैसे आदी जे गोडिरे, अंती कडू, पार्थाते सुख साचे, वळिले आहे रजाचे, म्हणूनी न शिवे तयाचे, अंग कही. He says, thus the pleasure terminates in misfortune and becomes toxic even in the next world. Even Jnaneshwar is saying, and Bhagavad Gita is also saying, if you have understood the principle, if ध्यायतो विषयान पुंसान संगस्तेषुपजायते, संगात जायते कामः, कामात् क्रोधो भी जायते, क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः, सम्मोहात् विभ्रति विभ्रमः, विभ्रमात् बुद्धिनाशः, बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. ध्यायतो विषयान पुंसान. People think of objects, looking at, interacting with the object is not a problem. Once is okay. But when we think about that object second time, then what happens? A desire is created in the mind. And that desire becomes greed. Greed cannot be satisfied. So it leads to anger. Anger leads to delusion. Delusion leads to lack of knowing what is right and wrong. And where you don't know what is right and wrong, that is the end of humanity. Think. So all those people who are around you, whom you have come across, who are drug addicts, alcoholics, and each one has its, these are just two common. Some people are addicted to food. Some people are addicted to iced water. Summer is coming, they want to drink iced water. Iced water initially is, it's so cooling, it's so hot, it's so cooling. But long term, it destroys you from inside. It's not good to drink cold water, iced water. So don't overdo anything. And that is what he is telling here. Thus, this pleasure terminates in misfortune. This temporary, instant pleasure, which is gained by the senses, it terminates in misfortune and becomes toxic even in the next world. And if one dies harboring that desire, living in that indulgence, drinking alcohol and dies, taking drugs and dies, eating food and dies, next week, next life, pig. It continues. Those are the samskaras, those are the impressions that we have created in our mind. Those based on those impressions, the balance sheet of those impressions will determine what life you are going to get in your next life. This is the greatness of our scriptures and our paddhati. Paddhati is the system. Satvik Sukha. Satvik Sukh means that buddhi which is committed to the truth. That must be cultivated under all conditions. That's the name of the game. But we have to live life. Arey Baba, you are not living life. You are life. You are life. Everything is happening in you. You are not happening in this world. The world is happening in you. When will it click? Why it is not clicking? Because I am in this world. This world is a bhogya vastu. It is a place of indulgence. I like that. I see, what I hear, what I touch, what I feel, what I taste. I like all these things. Whatever I like, I want to possess. I want to indulge. You indulge only because of one reason. You think it is a bhogya vastu. But once you take the whole creation with all its objects and experiences as your own being, as an expression of your own mind, like in the dream, then you will not desire it. Do you desire your wife in the dream after waking up? No. Why? It was only an imagination of my mind. So you don't go after it. Same thing is in the waking also. Then why are we indulging so much? Out of habit. You have created the habit. Undo it. Undo it. When the senses are fondled by making over to them the orchard of religious merit, they destroy the religious merit and offer instead the festive sensuous enjoyments in this. When the senses are fondled by making over to them the orchard of religious merit. See, many people during Diwali, instead of remembering Ram, this is North Indian Paddhati. In North India, if you go to Delhi and all, Punjab and all, during Diwali, they will drink. During Diwali, on the tonight, they will gamble. They say it is auspicious. In the name of Diwali, in the name of Lakshmi. This is how they go the wrong way. They destroy the religious merit by doing this and offer instead the festive sensuous enjoyments. And don't we do the same thing for our fasting? Fasting is so that our energy is harnessed. It is not leaking into only digestion. That is where it goes the most. So fasting means you conserve your energy. And for that day, keep your mind, instead of focused on breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks in between, it's focused on Ram Nam. That is the purpose of fasting. Lakshmi Puja is not to gamble. Lakshmi Puja is to remember the Adi Lakshmi, the wealth, not only the physical wealth, but the internal wealth. Are we having the good qualities? Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan, Gyan, Bhakti, Vairagya, Mumukshutvam, Vivek, Vairagya, Shatka, Sampatti, Mumukshutvam. Do we have these qualities? This is wealth. This is wealth. And what are we running after? Look at every house. Every house. Dhanteras. Day before yesterday was Dhanteras. So people want to buy a new car. Someone bought a new car. They came to my house. Swamiji, we bought a new car. Please bless it. Another bought a jewelry. They made a joke of these festivals, that Dhanteras is that you should buy something new that day, something wealthy, something expensive. It's auspicious. You chant the Lord's name, that's the most auspicious. Remember His grace, that's most auspicious. Instead, and offer instead the festive sensuous enjoyments. What are we doing instead during Diwali? We are only at sparklers, all different type of sparklers. वो अनार होता है, फिरकी होती है, bombs are there, sparklers are there. For the eyes, it's so festive. Then, for the ears, for the namesake, Om Jaya Jagadish Hare, Swami Jaya Jagadish Hare. For the tongue, all the variety of sweets and foods that have been prepared for Diwali. आज मजा आ गया. For skin, all the new clothes. You wear new clothes on Diwali day. Why don't you wear the cloth of Atma instead and give up the Jivatma? Why don't you taste the Atma? Why don't you think of Atma? Why don't you merge into Atma? That will be the ultimate wealth. But no, we have given into, replaced all the merit, replaced the sattvic sukh with indulgence in the senses. In this way, sins getting stronger take such person to hell. Indulgence is vishameva. It will lead to sin. It will lead to indulgence. It will lead to intoxication. It will lead to attachment. Self-created. It is not there. You have created by continuously thinking. And we are not saying you or him or her. No, this is the principle. When you think of something again and again and again, you will have a desire for it. If you keep looking at this cup every time, I show you for next 10 classes, I show you, or 5 classes. Then next time you go for the shopping center, Are Swamiji had this color. Oh, I saw that. Oh, that's beautiful. Let's also get one because Swamiji had one. Automatically the desire will come. If you listen, you must have done this. You are at someone's house, you listen to some music, immediately ask, oh, where is this music? Who is singing this music? Where did you buy it? Which album is this? You get all the kundali and then you go looking for it online if you can get it free. And put it into your folder. See? In this way, sins getting stronger, indulgence getting stronger. Sin, in other words, is desire. Get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. Only because of indulgence. Take such person to hell. So a person whose buddhi is not committed to the Atma, is not naturally contemplating on the Atma, such a buddhi is already in hell anyway. More so if that buddhi is having only desires for the objects of the world. It's not that it will go to hell one day. No, it is in hell right now. Thus, worldly pleasures cause harm in the other world. Although poison is called mahur, that is sweet, it becomes fatal in the end and reveals its true nature. Thus, worldly pleasure, which tastes sweet in the beginning, proves bitter in the end. This pleasure, O Partha, is formed of the rajas quality, so take care not to touch it even with a long pole. Stay far away. How do you stay far away from all this? How do you stay far away from the objects of the world? Equanimity. Remain a drashta. Remain an observer. Remain a disinterested observer. That's how you stay away from it. Otherwise, once, because the I alone is attached, I alone is detached. That I which is detached is the drashta. Everything that you see, hear, touch, feel, taste is not necessarily for consumption, for involvement, for ownership, for interaction. Remain quiet. COVID has given us enough practice for that. Continue. See? So beware, beware, beware. Don't go after kshanika sukh. This kshanika sukh is very dangerous. We want sattvic sukh, if at all. In every activity, manasa, vacha, kaya, don't get involved too much in giving opinions, into arguments, into discussions, into gossiping, into giving opinions. Nah. Someone called me, some organization. They said, Swamiji, please come and give a lecture on Sanskrit and Sanskriti. I said, well, good idea. But how he wrote it was different. He didn't say, he said, Swamiji, if you like to give a lecture, you can give a lecture on Sanskrit and Sanskriti. I said, I don't like or dislike. You want, you tell me. If you organize it, it's okay. If you don't organize it, it'll be even better. He ended up not organizing. Happy? Otherwise, I had to travel to Brunswick to the studio and give a lecture there. No, we must help the community. Arey, community is helped anyway, don't worry. जिसको चाहिए उसको मिल जाता है. ये self-proclaimed social workers, self-proclaimed people starting these all charitable organizations. Why? सब पैसे का खेल है और कुछ नहीं है. पैसे का खेल है और दूसरा name and fame. He's doing so much for the community. Then he'll be given OAM, he'll be given some recognition. All this is ego trip, Baba. मुड़ के भी मत देखो उस तरफ. So Dhaneshwar Maharaj is saying that so take care, do not touch it even with a long pole. Long pole मतलब कौन सा हो गया? वो जो high jump वाला pole होता है ना? They take the pole, they run, dig it into the ground, they climb up. That long pole. उससे भी touch मत करो. Jnaneshwar Maharaj is not saying it just to take the Mickey out of us. He has experienced it. Every saint has experienced it. Gita mentions it. Upanishads mention it. Puranas mention it. All sages of the past, present, and present have mentioned it. There must be a reason. एक बार जलना काफी है. Once you get burnt is enough. Why you should be burnt again and again? Once you get a shock by putting your finger into the by touching a live wire, will you touch it again second time? No, I was enjoying touching the live wire. मर जाओगे किसी दिन. So don't go after instant joy, instant gratification, which is only at the sensory level. Now continuing in the 39th verse. Yadagre chanubandhe cha. Yadagre chanubandhe cha. Yadagre chanubandhe cha. Yadagre chanubandhe cha. Sukham mohanam atmanaha. Sukham mohanam atmanaha. Nidralasya pramadotham. Nidralasya pramadotham. Tattamasamudahrutam. Tattamasamudahrutam. Together. Yadagre chanubandhe cha. Sukham mohanam atmanaha. Nidralasya pramadotham. Tattamasamudharutam. He says in the 39th verse, that pleasure which is delusive to oneself at first as well as in the end, which arises from sleep, sloth, and heedlessness, is deemed to be of tamas quality. That, what is that? That sukh, that delusory sukh, which is in the beginning and is in the end also, which arises from nidra alasya pramad. Shun it away. He says, Ani apeyache ni pane. अखाद्याचे नि भोजने स्वैरस्त्री सन्निधाने होयजे सुख का पुढिलाचे नि मारे नातरी परस वापहारे जे सुख अवतरे भाटाच्या बोली. जे आलस्यावरी पोखिजे निद्रे माझी जे देखिजे जयाच्या आद्यंती भुलिजे आपुली वाट ते गा सुख पार्था तामस जाण सर्वथा हे बहुन सांगोची जे कथा असंभाव्य हे ऐसे कर्म भेदे मुदले फळ सुख ही त्रिधा झाले ते हे यथा गमे केले गोचर तुझ ते करता कर्म फळ ते त्रिपुटी एकी केवळ वांचुनी काहीची नसे स्थूळ सूक्ष्मी ये आणि हे तव त्रिपुटी तिही गुणी इही किरीटी गुंफिली असे पठी तांतुवी जैसी. He says, O Partha, you know pleasure to be of tamas quality, which is derived by drinking wine, eating meat, or in the company of a woman of loose character, or by treachery, or by depriving somebody of his wealth, or by flattery of a bard, or which is fed by sloth or slumber. Sloths, pramad, slumber, nidra. And which right from beginning to the end deludes him and makes him go astray from the right path. Such is the tamasic sukha from the beginning till end. We live in imagination, pramad, and imagination. We die with that imagination. पूरी जिंदगी उसी में निकाल दी, imagination में. What is the imagination? I am the body. Imagination. लगे रहो मुन्ना भाई उसके बाद. So many satsangs we have attended, everywhere it is told, you are not the body, you are the Atman, you are the witnessing consciousness. No, I am the body. See, I can feel it. I feel the pain. I feel the pain. If the pin pricks, I am feeling. I must be the body. I have to be the body. Then who can help such a person? All these examples there he had given. Then he says, I will not explain to you in detail because it is impossible to do so. Jnaneshwar Maharaj, I will not explain in detail. Yeah, you guys are expert at it. For me, it is impossible because Jnaneshwar Maharaj has never got involved in these things. So how will he explain? He has only observed details. Those who have got indulged, they will know the details. And why should we explain in detail the negative? If we want to explain, we will explain the positive. We will explain the transcendental. Why should we talk about sleep? Everyone is well aware of what sleep is. What is laziness? Why we have to, uski baal kyun udhairni hai? Everyone knows what laziness is. So he says, I am not going to explain to you in detail because it is impossible to do so. Thus, I have disclosed to you the accordance with the scriptures, the distinctive features of happiness depending upon distinct actions. And also, Nidra Alasa Pramad has been taken up in other chapters before. Now we are in the last chapter, the Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. Here to give a lengthy commentary on Nidra Alasa Pramad is not warranted. And therefore he says that I have disclosed to you in accordance with the scriptures the distinctive features of happiness depending upon distinctive actions. Sukha gained by karma. And karma is at manasa vacha kaya. Are we having sattvic sukha? Are we having rajasic sukha? Or are we caught up in tamasic sukha? That you have to assess. That you have to become committed to, that I want to move towards the sattvic sukha. See, all of us are interested in satsang. That itself is a beginning. It's sattvic sukha. And satsang is always about contemplation of on the self, isn't it? Without a mistake, every one of you is coming here at this time for the satsang. But let it be a 24/7. Let it be 24/7, where from within we are continuously contemplating on the self without any support from outside. It must come to that. Then he says, whatever things there are in this world, big or small, none of them is without the agent, action, and the fruit. O Arjuna, as the cloth is made up of yarn, so this triad is woven by three qualities. Whatever things there are in this world, big or small, none of them is without the agent. What is the Triputi? The Karta, what is that? The doer, the first is the agent, the doer, then it is the karma, and is the karma phala. Karta, karma, karma phala. These three. For these fellows, the world is there. The dreamer was the doer of actions in the dream world. Where did he go after waking up? Where did he go? But you were experiencing yourself as the dreamer only. In the dream, you were only there. You only woke up. And you are not deciding to go back to the same family in the dream or to the same world in the dream. Then why the insistence that this waking world must remain the same every morning when I wake up? Why this insistence? And then pain will come. Because nothing in this world remains the same. It is continuously changing. You don't know the change is for the good or the bad, for it will give you more or it will take away everything from you. But we are indulging in the world, taking it to be real. And eventually we are asking for trouble, which is either discontentment or fear of loss or fear of death. Remain a drashta, remain a drashta, remain witness, remain the witness. Let things unfold by themselves. Let things unfold. So catch, just as the dream world and the results in the dream were for the dreamer, the moment dreamer woke up, dreamer the doer, dreamer the actor, action, performing the action, and dreamer who experienced the karma phala, all of that became null and void the moment he woke up, isn't it? Isn't it? So what is our status? Are we a doer here? Are we addicted to action? Are we performing action because we want something else, something in return? And there's nothing, if you're finding yourself in that position, good. Because that's how everyone is. But then slowly wean yourself away from the tamasic to the rajasic to the sattvic. O Arjuna, as the cloth is made up of the yarn, so this triad is woven by the three qualities. So the doer, the karma, and the karma phala, it is woven through the three gunas. The whole creation is nothing but the three gunas. The whole creation is there because this doer is there. Now the question is, if the three gunas are there, see, even at the totality level, at the sattvic level, Vishnu Bhagavan, the maintainer. Now what will he maintain? There should be something something to maintain, no? At the rise of Brahmaji. Brahmaji is the creator. Creator, what? Created. He, how can he create something without any activity? He has to create. He has to have some action. But who are Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh? Again, consciousness at the totality level expressing through Rajas, Tamas, Sattva and Tamas. Same way at the individual level, consciousness expressing through waking, dream and sleep. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas is waker, dreamer and sleeper. And thus, it aspires for whatever is there in that world and wants to get those results. Get out of all this. Recognize that you are the one who knows that the waker, dreamer, sleeper come and go. The karma phala for the husband to perform his duty, but husband himself is a ghost. What karma phala will he get and what karma will he do? Think. Is he real? Is Sattva, Rajas, Tamas real? Is the wave real? Is the ornament real? Is the manyness real? Or only a projection on the one by the one? So here we are trying, Dhaneshwar Maharaj or Lord Krishna is trying to tell us the principle that the whole world is nothing but a play of these three potencies, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, three moods, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. And this world is because there is the Karta, Karma and Karma Phala. And this Karta also, there is Sattvic Karta, Rajasic Karta, Tamasic Karta. There is the Sattvic Karma, Rajasic Karma, Tamasic Karma. There is Sattvic Karma Phala, Rajasic Karma Phala and Tamasic Karma Phala. What was the Rajasic the Sattvic Karma Phala? The Sattvic Sukh was the Sattvic Karma Phala. Rajasic Sukh was Rajasic Karma Phala. Tamasic Sukh is the Tamasic Karma Phala. And as long as we are caught up in this cycle, it's endless births after births after births. We have to get out of it. We have to shoot out of this gravity of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Continuing in the 40th verse, Natadasti prithivyam va, Natadasti prithivyam va, Divideveshu va punaha, Divideveshu va punaha, Sattva prakriti jair muktam, Sattvam prakriti jair muktam, Yadebhi satribhir gunaihi, Yadebhi syatribhir gunaihi. Together, Natadasti prithivyam va, Divi deveshu va punaha, Sattvam prakriti jair muktam, Yadebhi syatribhir gunaihi. He says in the 40th verse, there is not a thing in this on this earth, nor yet among the gods in heaven that is free from these three qualities born of Prakriti. Now he's coming to the principle. First he showed you how the Gyan, the Buddhi, the Karta, the Karma, the Karma Phala, the Jnana, everything was the Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. All that was to impress to our mind that there is nothing in this creation. What is this creation? What you see And what is beyond your vision? What is beyond your vision? The heavens, the other fields of experience or the fields of consciousness. All of that, whether you take the gods in heaven or you take the earth or you take the underworld, whichever, anything, everything is permeated or, uh, or influenced by sattva, rajas, and tamas. So they are all these beings, gods, demigods, humans, demons, all of them are born from sattva, rajas, tamas. Prakriti expresses as sattva, rajas, tamas. Prakriti, nature. This nature is a flux, is a play, is a of these three forces, is of these three moods. Purity, dynamism, and inertia. Sattva, rajas, tamas. Let's see what he says. He says, Manauni prakriti cha avaloki न बंदिजे इहि सत्वादिकी तैसी स्वर्गी ना मृत्युलोकी हाथी वस्तु कैचा लवे वीण कांबळा मातीये वीण मोदळा काजळे वीण कल्लोळा होणे आहे तैसे न होनी गुणाचे सृष्टीची रचना रचे ऐसे नाहीची गा साचे प्राणी जात. I'll read the whole thing. या लागी हे सकळ तिही गुणाचेची केवळ घडले आहे निखिळ ऐसे जाण गुणी देवा त्रयी लाविली गुणी लोकी त्रिपुटी पाडिली चतुर्वर्णा घातली सिनानी उळिगे. He says, therefore, bear in mind that there is nothing in this world or in heaven which is not bound by these three qualities. Bound, they are permeating in and through all this. No thing, no person can be outside the influence of these. In the whole relative is influenced by the sattva, rajas, tamas, is an expression of sattva, rajas, tamas. So here he says, so bear in mind that there is nothing in this world or in heaven which is not bound by these three qualities. How can there be a blanket without wool, a clod without clay, or waves without water? So no beings in this creation are free from being constituted by these three qualities. You cannot have waves without water. You cannot have cloth without a yarn or a blanket without wool. Similarly, you cannot have creation without, what is the material that has gone in? Sattva, rajas, tamas. Remember, somewhere we must have, in Vivek Chudamani also we saw, the tamas alone expresses as the space, air, fire, water, earth. Isn't it? Everything. So no beings in this creation are free from being constituted by these qualities. No beings. Who is a being? Who is a being? There's a human being. There's a God being. There's a evil being. Who is a being? A person with some form, whether gross or subtle, doesn't matter. But someone with form, someone with some qualities, someone with some attributes, someone who comes into existence and goes out of existence, that is a being. So when he says that, so no beings in this creation, what are we talking about creation? Either you take the microcosmic creation or the macrocosmic creation, Vyashti, Samashti, or you take what is Vyashti, what is the microcosmic creation? Waking creation, dream creation, and absence of the two, the deep sleep creation. What is the macrocosmic creation? The creator, the maintainer, and the destroyer. So the total waking world, the total dream world, and the total deep sleep. That will be the samashti. All this is pervaded. What is the yarn? What is the material that has gone into making all the beings at the macro, at the totality level and the individual level, is sattva, rajas, and tamas. Therefore, you see Kali Mata standing with her foot on the Lord Shiva lying on the floor. Some people say, I think someone made that picture wrong. How can Shiva be lying on the floor and Mata standing on her, on him? That is how it is. He is the substratum. She is, without him, she cannot be. But at the same time, the form Shiva cannot be without the Shakti. It is because of Shakti that one formless reality takes the form of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. It is because of the Shakti. If there is no Shakti, then it is not possible. And what is that Shakti? What is its nature? It is Trigunatmika, Satvik, Rajasic, Tamasic. When she manifests as Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. When she unmanifests, it becomes Avyakta. This is the secret. It has to click one day. सोच के पागल हो जाओगे, सोच के पागल हो जाओगे. But सोचना चाहिए. But in this direction, in this manner, not how you feel to think. I will think in this way. It will not work. So all things in this world are made up of these three qualities. It is these qualities which have made one God into three gods, namely Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, who have created the three worlds, heaven, earth, and the nether worlds, and have assigned different duties to the four castes. अभी मैंने तो वो जो बताया वही चीज ज्ञानेश्वर महाराज भी बता रहे हैं. It is these three qualities which have made one God into three gods. One Ishvara, one Parabrahma Paramatma, when he desired, he is called as Ishvara with reference to his Alhadini Shakti. When that Shakti manifests, she manifests as Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. With reference to Sattva, that Shakti is called Lakshmi. With reference to Lakshmi, the consciousness, that Parabrahma Paramatma, that Ishvara is known as Vishnu. The same Ishvara with reference to Rajas Shakti, which is Saraswati, is known as Brahma, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu. And with reference to Parvati, the Tamasic, the consciousness with reference, the Ishvara with reference to Parvati, which is the Shakti, the Tamasic Shakti, the Kali Shakti, he is known as Shiva. See. And who is Brahmaji? Who is Vishnu? Who is Shiva? What is their sphere of influence? Their sphere of influence, everything. So here it is told that I have created the three worlds, heaven, earth, and the nether worlds. Brahmaji controls the heavens. He has assigned the various gods to do their various actions. The Maruts, the Adityas, the sun god, the moon god, the nakshatras, the Agni Devta, Vayu Devta, Indra Devta, so many gods, 33, all of them he has assigned. Each one is doing his job according to his job description. Vishnu, he is the Lord of the waking, total waking. So what is his world? His world is the waking world. Where is the waking world? Earth is the waking world. Everything is maintained by him here. And in the nether worlds, that is the jurisdiction of Shiva. He takes care of his world. And in this way, and have assigned different duties to the four castes. Now they will talk about the four castes, the Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And there we will see how these four castes also fall into the purview of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. We have explained in the excuse me, क्यों नींद आ रही है? मेरे को लड्डू ज्यादा खा लिया लगता है. So we have talked about this in the Gunatrayat, in the 15th chapter, I think, not 15th, 17th chapter. No, not 17th chapter, man. Which was that chapter? Na, 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 na. Na, na, na. La, 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 la. Ah, 14th chapter. We saw the Gunatraya Vibhaga Yogo Nama, 14th chapter. How everything was Trigunatmik there, or the Gunas. What's the time? Now a new topic is beginning, and let's read. जितना हो जाता है उतना कर लेते हैं. ब्राह्मण क्षत्रिय विषाम शूद्राणाम च परंतप. ब्राह्मण क्षत्रिय विषाम शूद्राणाम च परंतप. कर्माणि प्रविभक्तानि स्वभाव प्रभवैर्गुणैः. Together. ब्राह्मण क्षत्रिय विषाम शूद्राणाम च परंतप. कर्माणि प्रविभक्तानि स्वभाव प्रभवैर्गुणैः. He says in the 41st verse, of the Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, O oppressor of the foes, Parantapa, O oppressor of the foes, the duties have been distributed according to the qualities born of their nature. What are the duties of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra? We have mentioned this before, but let's see, here it is in detail. Starting, Te Chari Varna, Pusasi Zari Kona Kona, Kari Jaya Mukhya Brahmana, Dhurece Ka, Ye Rakshatriya Vaishya Donhi, Te hi Brahmana Chachi Mani, Zete Vaidika Vidhani, योग्य म्हणवनी. चौथा शूद्र जो धनंजया, वेदी लागू नाही तया, तर ही वृत्ती वर्णत्रया आधीनतयाची. If you ask me which are the four castes, the Brahmin are the foremost among them. Two other castes are the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas, who enjoy the same high position as the Brahmins. These three are authorized to perform the Vedic rites. O winner of wealth, the fourth caste, consisting of the Shudras, is not so qualified and has to depend upon the other three castes. Why? If they don't give the answer, then I'll give you the answer. Why? Continuing. तिये वृत्तीचिया जवळिका, वर्णा ब्राह्मणादिका, शूद्र ही की देखा चौथा झाला. जैसा फुलाचे निसांगाते, तातू तुरंबिजे श्रीमंते, तैसे द्विजसंगे शूद्राते स्वीकारी श्रुती. ऐसैसी गा पार्था, हे चतुर्वर्ण व्यवस्था, करू आता कर्मपथा यांची आरूपा. जिही गुणी ते वर्णचारी, जन्म मृत्यूंची एकातरी, चुकोनिया ईश्वरी पैठे होती. जिहे आत्म प्रकृतीचे इही, गुणी सत्वादिकी तिही, कर्मे चौघा चहू ठाई वाटिली varna. He says that, but because these Shudras are closely connected with the three castes, they are reckoned as the fourth caste. The scriptures have included the Shudras in the caste as they have close connection with the twice born. In the same way as the rich smell the flowers of a garland along with its thread, such is the arrangement of the fourfold caste system. I shall now tell you their respective functions, by performing which these four castes escape from the pair of scissors in the form of birth and death and attain to the Supreme Self. Understand, being a Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra is not a great thing. As much bound is a Shudra by the body, so much a Brahman also can be bound by the body. Our goal is not to be living under the clutches of Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Our purpose is to recognize that we are the Parabrahma, Paramatma. We are not here to prove Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Remember this. We are analyzing this. See, our problem is, listen attentively. Our problem is, we are the ghost in between. We want to know the truth. And what is that truth? It is beyond speech and beyond mind. How do we know it? As an objective pursuit. We want to put efforts and we want to do shama, dhamma, aparama, etc. But what is that truth? We are not ready to accept it is our nature. We want to explore it. We want to know it. We want to catch it as an experience. That is never possible. On the other hand, we are told that the world, what is this? This whole world, which is made up out of the Pancha Koshas and the Pancha Mahabhutas and the Pancha Pranas and the Panch Indriyas, Karmendriyas and Jnanendriyas, all this is world, which is made up of Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra and all this, the 14 lokas. We are said you have to destroy this, but we cannot destroy it also. How can you destroy which does not exist? How can you destroy a wave? How can you destroy sattva, rajas, tamas? Did you create it? As an individual, as a seeker, on one hand, you want to seek the truth, the self. And you think by destroying the world, by destroying the mind, by controlling the mind, by destroying objectivity, we will be able to come to know the truth. But did you create this creation? Do you have an experience of that? Did you create the sattva, rajas, tamas? Did you create that? Or it was already there? Can you remember manipulating the sattva, rajas, tamas and watching how sattva, rajas, tamas formed the Hiranyagarbha, then the Virat Purusha, then you are one of it? Do you remember the whole process? No. If you did not create sattva, rajas, tamas, then how will you destroy it? We feel incompetent to destroy the world. That's why this difficulty comes. You are saying, give up the sensory pursuit, but I didn't create it. I was born like that, man. Give up desires, but I was born with desires. I didn't create the desires. Sometimes this type of thinking brings us to this point, a point where we are just at our wits' end. Neither are we able to give up the world on one hand, because you can give up something which was yours. It was never yours. So how can you give it up? You did not create the space, air, fire, water, earth. You can't remember creating the husband. It just happened. You can't remember creating the wife out of yourself. It happened. Now, how do you destroy something that which happened? कभी सोचा ऐसे? So now we find, then if a prepared mind is not there, it loses the plot. Because neither I can destroy the world, neither I can annihilate the world, because I did not create it, it was there. And neither I can know the truth, why I'm seeking it objectively. Yato vacho nivartante aprapa manasasa. All the scriptures are saying speech cannot eliminate it, mind cannot comprehend it. So how do I come to know? Then it was better I didn't come to this knowledge. Then ignorance was bliss. Now I understand that I have to be the self, that I am essentially the self, but I am not able to come to know. And on the other hand, to come to know the self, I have to give up all objectivity, but I am not able to give up the objective world. How do I find a way out of this? That is the next topic through this, whatever the verses are coming now. Because the purpose is moksha sannyas yoga. The topic is that we have come to understand, we have come towards the end of Bhagavad Gita now. What is it that we practice in our daily life? How do we implement it in our daily life? What is it that I can do in my daily life by which I move towards the sattva disposition? That's all you can do. As long as you think you are a doer, that's all you can do. And what did we see Sattvic Sukh was? When the buddhi is clicked into the Atma or Paramatma. Means involuntarily it is thinking of that of the self, of the higher, of the transcendental one. Because it has weaned itself away from all objectivity. It has become convinced that it is not worth it to remain indulgent in the world. It has understood that the final solution, resolution, salvation lies only in realizing the self as I, which is all that there is. It's only a words right now, but thinking of these words, thinking of these thoughts, the seeker comes to be in the sattvic mode. Understand? So he says here, where are we? Such is the arrangement of the fourfold caste system. I shall now tell you their respective functions, by performing which these four castes escape from the pair of scissors in the form of birth and death and attain to the Supreme Self. These functions have been distributed among the four castes according to the three qualities of the Prakriti. Now, for us, scriptures are the authority. And what are the scriptures? The Upanishads, the Brahma Sutras, and the Bhagavad Gita. This is Vedanta, these three. And our scriptures, the Vedic lore, the basis of it is the Chaturvarna, is the four caste. And what is this four caste? As we told you before also, that it is based on guna and karma. It is based on knowledge and action. That means what you know must reflect in your action. If you have compassion in your mind and you keep singing your praises, I am a compassionate man, I am a compassionate man, but are never ready, never feel the pain of another person, have never helped anyone, then it is not, you are only in your head, you are compassionate, but in action, you are not compassionate. Guna and karma. So that, based on that guna and karma, these four castes, each one's duties are given, and performing those actions, one can attain realization. Many are the saints in our country. Kabir Das ji, he was a weaver. Gora Kumbhar, he was a potter. Mira's guru, I can't remember his name, Narsingh Das or something, Narsingh sir. He was a cobbler. See, they all attained. Namdev ji Maharaj, he was a tailor. He was a tailor. So you'll find in India great masters from all the four castes. I just told you one. There are Brahman saints, saint has got no caste. But before they became a saint, before they realized, they were born in some family. So some were born in Brahman family, some were born in Kshatriya, some were in Vaishya, some were in Shudra. But the realization was not only entitled for Brahmanas. It was not, that Brahmana is not by birth. Here we are talking about action, that by action you can purify yourself. We will see it how it unfolds in the next class. These these functions have been distributed among the four castes according to the three qualities of the Prakriti. And by doing these functions, one becomes free from birth and death cycle. So, what is realization for Brahmana? He has to become free of birth and death. Then only, And what is birth and death of? It is birth and death of the body. Kshatriya, he is also having a body. Vaishya is also having a body. Shudra is also having a body. We'll talk more about it in our next class. I can keep going on. Suddenly, I'll go overtime then. Enjoy your happy Diwali, Shubha Deepavali. And it's good. I thought you will all not be there, but you are here. So it was good. It's a better than playing with lamps and sparklers. This is the way we light the spark among ourselves through satsang. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.